Hello and welcome to Ada Unedited, because I can't edit videos. Today I will be reviewing this Beau-Pro advent calendar, which I used last December 2022. So, in this review, we'll first be going over the overall design, and then each of the individual products and talking about their quality and my experience of them so far. And then at the end, there will be a little comment analysis of, is it worth your money? So, in thoughts on the design were, it came in a cardboard box, which I thought the design on the front was really cute. But I did think that because it was quite pink and it was had lots of castles, had a castle on it, it came across as potentially being aimed to a slightly younger audience, even though on the actual Amazon page it seemed like it was aimed for a broader range of just any woman. So I think that it's a great and nice design, but I feel like it was be better for something specifically for younger women or girls. This other thing about the design is that it had windows for each day, and I think the problem with that was that they were because it's quite compact together and the corrugation wasn't always great, it did mean that it was prone to ripping. So I think that was a problem which could have been sorted by potentially better corrugation. Because of that, I ended up quite often going over it with a pair of compasses, which I had to be able to open things, which I don't think you should have to do to feel like you're opening things neatly. And then the other thing which comes under this heading is just how it's put together. And I'll probably talk more about this when I go through each of the products in order. But it had the biggest thing of an eyeshadow palette as numbered number 1, which I think is problematic because your expectation for an advent calendar is to do one first. Whereas this is something being the biggest thing there should have definitely been last. So it was unusual in how it wanted you to use it. And I think that because there weren't any instructions telling you that really specifically, wasn't the best. And again, I think that a lack of instructions, especially for some of the less common beauty products, was potentially unhelpful, especially because to me at least it seemed like it was aimed at a slightly younger audience just because of that front design. So now we will be going through each of the individual pieces. So the first thing that I got was this blush, with this blush down here. As you can see, it was in here. This is one of the ones which wasn't as hard to get out, which was a good thing. And I think it's a nice colour. It's a bit darker and bolder, which is nice. And its texture is good. Nothing really to complain about. It's blusher. I think the only complaint I'd really have is that, as you can see, it says blush rather than blusher, but that's me being British. And there was a blush brush in the calendar, but it wasn't until a lot later that you'd open it. So if you were opening it in order and didn't already have your own brush, you'd be waiting quite a while to be able to put it on. This is an eyeshadow. The second thing was the eyeshadow brush here. Only complaint is that it's not the best powder eyeshadow brush, but I found it work quite well for the cream eyeshadow. I think the only complaint is that that's not immediately obvious. Day number 3 was this black eyeshadow, which is just a staple. I especially like it for using it to make eyeliner, to use as an eyeliner. I think that the only issue I'd have with it is that the brush, which was good for powder eyeshadow, didn't come until a little later, but unlike others, it wasn't a long wait. Fourth thing was the headband, which was a headband in here. Its ears, which I think does make it feel, which again adds to the feeling that this was aimed at a slightly younger audience. I'm wearing the ears. And then number 5. What I opened up next was this lip pencil, which is really nice. It's a darker one, which goes with the lip gloss and stick, which will be coming up, which is a good thing. Only problem I specifically had with it is if you lose a lip pencil with lipstick, it might have been slightly nicer to put the lipstick in first, just because you can use a lipstick without a lip pencil, whereas you can't really wear just lip pencil. And then item numero 6 was this lip glaze. And the thing is, this is actually the first time I've had a lip glaze, so I was not 100% sure what to do with it, because anything I've had, the closest thing I've had is lip gloss in a tube of a dark colour. But I think the thing is with lip glaze, I didn't know what to do, so I was a bit confused, but I figured out that using your lip pencil was really helpful, so it was really good that I had a lip pencil that went with it. So next I had this, which is a powder brush for powder eyeshadow. I actually think that this is surprisingly a really good brush, because on this end you've got a typical sponge brush, and the sponge is quite firm and it's very secure, which is not the case with some other brushes I've had. On the other end, you've got this, which is a thin but wide, not really wide, but also wide-ish brush. And I thought that was really good because it's versatile, because you can use it for both like a really thin eyeliner and for putting on your eyes. Same with this is that because it is actually firmer, you can use it on its side for a thicker eyeliner, which was really good in my opinion. And next we had this lipstick, which again was a similar colour to the lip liner, which is both a plus and a minus, because it means you can use the lip liner you've already got, but the minus is there's less variety in terms of what colour you can put on your lips. And trust me, you don't put lip glaze and lip stick on at once. They're strong colours, so they're like the main heart. Next we had this bronze eyeshadow, which I absolutely love it. It's a nice eyeliner for being sparkly and a strong colour. You can wear it on its own. It's a bit too dark to be used as a highlighter, but it's just generally a really versatile colour, which I really like. And as with the black eyeshadow, which I didn't mention, is it's got a good texture. It comes up it's not too hot. It doesn't stick together. You can get it on reasonably easily. It's very good texture. Next, I was treated with more eyeshadow, this time pink. Again, I love it. I love the colour. I think that it doesn't have the strengths of being able to really be a highlighter or an eyeliner in the same way, but it's a nice pink, it's a nice colour. It was slightly different to what I've had before, and I just liked it. This next came this, which was a cream eyeshadow, which is a bit different, which is one of the points where I was a bit disappointed that I didn't have any guidance which came with the advent calendar, because I didn't really know what to do with this, and I had to look online for it. And the other thing, I was slightly surprised for it that it was purple, because that didn't really go as much with the colour scheme of the rest of it. But I love purple, so I didn't mind too much. The only other complaint is that this one was one of the products that I found difficult to remove from the plastic whilst the cardboard box was on. Next was another lip glaze, which I think it's really nice. I really like this colour. I'm wearing it. I'm not wearing it at the moment. I'm wearing the lipstick of a similar. I was wearing this yesterday, and I like it, and I just really like it. It's the only disappointment there is, as I said there, as I commented on the other, I praised the other one, is I had a lip pencil for it. This one I didn't have a lip pencil from the advent calendar, but I did have a lip pencil of a similar colour, so I could wear this myself. But if this is aimed to be like your first makeup, you wouldn't have as good a lip pencil for it. And then I think next thing was this nail varnish. I think the problem with the nail varnishes is they were impossible to get out without removing the cardboard outside to get it to be able to remove it from the plastic, which was really unfortunate. But I at first I didn't really like the way that it looked in terms of colour, but I was pleasantly surprised by how it looked on my nails. Flip, I got the eye cream out too early. My apologies. There was some confusion. Basically, actually, I put the nail polish in the wrong place. Next was some lip gloss, which I was pleasantly surprised with. Lip gloss is just top layer from the lips to make it a bit shiny. I'm not actually wearing some at the moment, so I can show you. I think this isn't my favourite lip gloss, but it's not terrible. My other lip glosses have had a more potent colour. This one is just kind of a shine, even though it looks pink, which is mildly disappointing, but that could just be that because the colours I've used it on top of, which come with this, are quite potent colours, strong colours. So it doesn't show, whatever colour it is hasn't showed up on the makeup, on the lipsticks I've worn it on top of. Next was some nail stickers. I used these the day I got them because it was just so exciting. The thing is they did fall off quite quick. I'd used two different types, and the flowers with the leaves fell off quite quickly, although the garland-like ones didn't. So I think the thing is they're reasonably good, but how well they stay on will depend on the shape, which isn't perfect. Next, I got again, with the nail varnish not being easy to get out, I got this nail varnish, which is a bronze colour, which I really like. The only thing I didn't like about it is, unlike the mustard nail varnish, it's quite thin, so it might work as a top layer, but it just doesn't. I don't think it would stand properly on its own, at least not to my preference. Which is something. So it's a good nail varnish. It's just not as much to my preference in terms of its style. Next I have this gold eyeshadow. This is really nice because you can use it as a highlighter and liner. It's really versatile, and it's a nice pale colour, so if you want to go for a circular look but still, you know, go for gold. It's really nice. I'm not huge into the category. And up in the spot, the next thing we had was a lip liner, another lip pencil. This time the lighter one, which goes with the lip glaze we'd already got. I think that the only particular I like it. It goes with that lip glaze. It goes with the lipstick, which is my criticism of it. I've already said is that it was a bit later. I think next came this purple eyeshadow, which again I was surprised with because it's quite a lot darker and colder than all the other at least powders for the face, all the other things. So, but I really love the colour purple, so of course I wasn't disappointed. But I would say it sticks out a bit. So, next up we have in space numero 20. I'm clueless. This nice nail varnish thing is it looks red, but it's actually a slightly more purple colour, which might tie the whole thing with the purple eyeshadows a bit together a bit more. But the thing I would say is that it is a slightly thinner one, so if you prefer a bolder or stronger colour on your nails like I do, you will need to use this for 2 coats. And it does, and because it is that bit thinner, it's more likely to chip. So you will want to have a top layer on top of it to protect it if that's how you like your nails. Next, in spot number 21, was this lighter blush, which I think was nice to have, for it to have another option. Only the blusher. It's blusher, not blush like it says it is, which is annoying. The only criticism I really have in that area is that I kind of wish there had been some bronzers, because I'd like to have as many bronzers as I have blushers, but apparently that's not how packs come. Next up is this lipstick, which it's a nice lipstick. It's about the same colour. It's not hugely different to this lip glaze, which is my only criticism. But as with the other lip gloss, it has a good point, which means that it's good for actually applying without a lip pencil, if necessary, or for a recoat. Next, I have this with this blush brush, which quite frankly isn't quality. It's I don't know, scratchy is the best way to describe it. And it's just a bit small, so it's not very good for blending the blush. So I genuinely I'm just going to put it in the bin because I have a much better brush. Then comes, last but not least, we have this eyeshadow palette. And I think that it has a variety. Oh, flip, not that again. That's one of the problems. It has a variety of colours. Basically matte powder shadows. That's easy enough to understand. They're their colour. There's nothing too problematic about them. They're not falling to pieces, but they come off reasonably easily. The other things, I found this quite interesting because there's some multicoloured ones where it's basically some glitter eyeshadow with some silver in it, which just means that it gets a slightly shinier finish when you put it on. There's one which is just shiny, and it's mildly metallic, but that's not too exciting. One thing is that there is this glittery one, which is like properly glittery with big specks. The one problem I have with it is it doesn't spread very well, and as you can see, the textures means that it goes, it's quite different in terms of its texture to normal eyeshadow. So figuring out how to use it has been interesting, but I actually think that if you do it thickly, it has a really nice, properly glittery finish, unlike other glitter eyeshadows where it's just kind of shinier. This one actually feels glittery when you put it on, which is nice, in my opinion. And that's the end of looking over the different products in it. And I think that according to Amazon, this one costs £25.49. And my analysis would be, it's not the best makeup, but that's actually really good value for money at that price. However, I do think it was more expensive at around £40, where I'd say you're getting to the edge, but if it's any more than that, I don't think it's worth it, because it's nice, but it's really not the best. Thank you for watching. This is an unedited video from Ada Unedited. Bye!